All right, it's time for some Reusse Unchained here on a Friday, presented by Josh Arnold, investment consultant, Mr. Money Talk. And Pat, the Vikings have made a trade this morning. So the Vikings wind up getting a second first-round pick from the Texans. So the Vikings now have the 23rd overall pick in addition to the 11. They also acquire a seventh-round pick. The Texans will get from the Vikings the 42, so the Vikings' second-round pick this year, a sixth-round pick this year, and a 2025 second-round pick. Busy week for our guy Kwesi here, huh?
Yeah, he's trying to get up there and get a young quarterback, the quarterback of the future. Now, Judd and I were just discussing. I don't think 23 gets you in the top five. I can't believe that gets you in the top five, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I guess it gets you to 8. Maybe they're buddies with the Falcons now that they took Kirk off their hands, and
And by the way, the Falcons might not have that number 8 pick if they get dinged for tampering, Pat.
Oh yeah, that's right. Who's ratting them out on that? It's Kirk's quotes that's got them in trouble, right?
Kirk's
Basically,
like, oh yeah, it was a great
Kirk
meeting with
met
their head
everybody, met
trainer.
everybody, met everybody. Boy, if they start investigating that stuff, though,
Where'd you stop?
everybody's going to be ratting out everybody, aren't they?
Yeah.
And of course, somebody should be smart enough to tell these players. We didn't really talk to you. You didn't talk to anybody in the building until 11 o'clock Wednesday, dummy. But Kirk can't shut up. So, yeah, if Atlanta loses that pick, I don't know who else will trade with them up there, 6, 7, or 8. I don't know who else.
See, the thing is, like, the Giants are picking 6th, and they're kind of a sneaky team that might draft a quarterback. So you don't know what some of the other agendas are. That's your problem.
Yeah.
The Titans could move back from 7 because they've got Will Levis as their young quarterback.
That's right. You could probably get to the Titans. I would think you could get to 7. If you get to 7, you get one of them. You get one of the 4, right? If you get to 7,
Probably, but here's the thing. I think that they made the trade with Houston to package 11 and 23
yes.
and move up. So yeah, I think you can get the Patriots pick.
Where's that?
3.
3.
Oh God, I don't think so.
Patriots they need a ton of draft picks. That's their thing.
They
need a lot of help.
They can do better than that. I don't think you can get. I don't think 11 and 23 get you all the way to 3. I don't see that. I think the Patriots should be smarter than that. Don't you? I mean, you're not going to. You're not going to give away Drake May for a third. Are you? I mean, for 23, I don't see him getting that high.
You might have to kick in something else. I think the question is, would you have to kick in your 2025 first-round pick to get up that high?
Yeah, maybe
that would be a heist if the Patriots
I think they want the guy from North Carolina. That's what I think. I think they want May.
Drake May.
I think that's their guy.
He's probably going to go. But I mean, he's gone in the top 4, I think.
Yeah, he is. But so you might have to give up another number 1. I don't think Phil might be, but it certainly tells you that Sam Darnold ought to enjoy his 6 weeks as a starter, right? before whoever they is.
Kwesi said he doesn't have to trade for Kwesi said from a Seifert question yesterday, I don't feel that we have to draft a quarterback in the first round, Pat. So I don't know what you're talking about. And he wouldn't call Sam a bridge quarterback, even though Joe Schmidt directly said this is definitely a bridge QB, which is a great question. It was hilarious.
Yeah. Yes. With Sam sitting there too, right?
Was Sam sitting right there?
No. That was Kwesi and O'Connell, and then Sam was brought in later.
Was Sam lurking in the background? No. Could he hear the interaction?
No, he was in a back room. I don't think he heard. I think he was in the.
Then if Kwesi said he's not a bridge quarterback, then we ought to take it at face value, don't you? Because
no
question. Lie at us. These guys would never lie to us about anything like that. So we might as well, this is.
Do you believe that they don't intend to trade Justin Jefferson?
I don't think they'll trade Justin Jefferson. I don't. If they do, they're idiots. But I think it's. I don't know if they do. Well, they can definitely get a top 3 draft choice then. If they trade Justin Jefferson, they might be able to get the first. So to put him in the whole deal, but I can they really do that? Can they not sign him for their whoever the new kid quarterback's going to be? I don't think that they can do that. Although
The the
cheap Wilfs,
latest the
the
late
cheap Wilfs, you know,
it's cheap Welfs.
never know what the cheap Wilfs are going to do.
Yeah. Well, I will say the latest. So Tyler Eifert, the former Notre Dame and then Bengals tight end, who's still plugged into, I'm sure people in the Bengals organization. He tweeted yesterday, according to my sources, and he wasn't joking. He said, "My sources are telling me that a Bengals Justin Jefferson trade is in motion," and people kind of took that and ran with it. Now the Bengals, they're paying Joe Burrow like $55 million. They're gonna have to pay
Yes,
Jamar Chase at some point. I don't know how you fit it all under, but
Carolyn. I don't either. I've seen that Bengals rumor. You think Justin wants to go to Cincinnati and play in that crap outdoor stadium and lousy weather? I know Joe Burrow's good, and he's been, he was with him, but I don't think so. I think he'll end up. He gets to play in the dome, nice warm confines of the dome here. He doesn't have to play in the cheap ass team of what would. Why would they do that? They've overinvested in Burrow already. They got Chase.
Well,
They got
Chase
good
going to cost him a
receivers.
boatload too. That's
Yeah,
the thing is, can you afford to pay 3 guys? Can you afford to have Burrow, Jefferson, and Chase with those contracts?
yeah. Well, $150 million there for $120 million anyway for that. So I don't buy that. I think they're bringing back Jefferson. Although he turned down 30. We're saying.
yeah,
In excess of 30 is what Schefter said a couple
Mhm.
days ago.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it is. I think we're gonna have to write a cheap Wilfs column if that's the case. They don't like to make those long-term commitments. They're cheap. So
This is finish this sentence for me, Pat. This is the most wide open, uncertain period in Vikings history since when?
boy, I couldn't. I could think of that, but I might have to wait till Tuesday to tell you, or Monday. I might have to wait till Monday to tell you. I can't
Yeah.
off the top of my head. I can't. I can't really think. It'd have to be back to the Lynn days, right? Have to be the Herschel era,
Herschel?
and yeah, that kind of crazy stuff going on, and who they're when's the last time they really were dedicated to moving up to get a quarterback?
Well,
When's the last time?
don't forget though, to your point, Patrick, the interesting thing about the Lynn comparison is if you recall, Mike Lynn tried to move up, I think, in the supplemental draft to take Bernie Kosar.
Yeah, I
And
think he
Kosar
did.
wouldn't play here because he was trying to do like that's one of the rare times that the Vikings tried to manipulate a draft to actually take a quarterback.
And Bernie wanted to play at home. Was
Bernie wanted
that
to play
it?
in
I
Cleveland.
can't remember that.
Yep.
Yeah, well, we dodged a bullet on that baby. So Bernie was okay for what, about a year and a half.
He's great at heartbreak though.
Hmm?
I said
Oh, he was great
he
at
was
heartbreak.
great. He'd fit right in the Vikings for heartbreak purposes.
I was there in Miami for Bernie's greatest moment when he beat the Nebraska boys. That was fantastic. But yeah, this is certainly uh, also probably won't announce the trade till they're moving up until what, the day of the draft maybe, or something. I don't know.
On the
It's not going
clock.
to happen. Not going to happen real soon. I don't think. They certainly they got to know where they can go, though, right? I mean, they got to know how high they can get here.
Don't you think that what you just said though, like what will it take to move up? Don't you think that they did their homework? We're probably told you got to get another first round pick.
Yes.
We don't care about the 42nd overall pick. And they said, okay, well, here we are. We have another. It's like what Declan and I were saying. It's like you're trying to buy a round trip airline ticket, but it might be cheaper to buy 2 one-way tickets. So this is like the first one-way ticket, and now they need to find out if they can do a second one-way
But we
ticket.
got to know we don't know who they're hot to trot to get either. It could be maybe they love JJ McCarthy. Who knows? And if you love JJ McCarthy, you don't have to get higher than 8. I don't think. I wouldn't think, if you would, on 7 or 8, Tennessee or Atlanta, that'll get that done. So maybe that's who they want. But if they want Drake May, they're gonna have to find another number. As you guys just said, they're gonna have to find a number one. You're not going to. I don't believe you're going all the way to the top three with just an 11 and a 23. I can't believe that'll move you all the way up there. So.
Boy, the draft party at the Fillmore, the Purple Daily draft party at the Fillmore
No,
is
it's
going to
gonna be
be.
packed.
Can you imagine when they announce the Vikings on the clock at number 3? Which we'll see.
This is
We'll see.
even overshadowing the excitement of the Big Ten men's basketball tournament. The draft on this. I got to switch to that last night. I watched Penn State and Indiana and was transfixed by how horse crap it was. It was ungodly. It was awful. Actually, the Gopher game, as from what I watched yesterday, was one of the better games of the day. It was terrible. Men's basketball. Then I started watching Virginia and Boston College, and talk about a ugly crap on the contest because I wanted to see how the kid from St. Thomas was doing at Virginia. I don't care how much NIL money he got. He must want to hit himself in the head with a bowling ball playing with that crap team, playing that crap style of play at Virginia. That was brutal. I was flipping channels, watching tournament games all over the place yesterday. They were terrible. Every game I turned to was terrible.
Men's college basketball not in good shape, Pat.
No, the only team that looked good yesterday was Bucky Badger, which was my favorite moment. I didn't miss it. I heard it on the radio. I didn't hear it, but a guy from Maryland dunks, and then he kind of pounds his chest out and starts, taunting a Wisconsin guy. At that moment, that made the score 78-38. They were 40 behind. They were 40 behind. I think I know what Maryland's problem is. You're 40 behind and you're taunting. That could be your problem.
It reminds me of when Cordero Patterson, Dion high stepped into the end zone on a kick return that made it like 35-7
Yeah, right.
against the
I remember
Seahawks.
that one.
Or Jerome Simpson would do the big first down sign.
Oh,
You're down by 30, guy. Calm down.
Okay, to go back to the quarterback thing, though, the NFL. What are our Viking Purple Daily regulars telling us? Are they just excited as hell about this?
People are fired up about this trade today. Yeah, and you know what, Pat? We did some live math on Purple Daily. We used one of the draft value charts.
Okay.
And the Vikings, according to the Rich Hill draft value chart, Rich Hill, as Judd said, a great multitasker, great pitcher, and apparently a draft value chart. So they acquired 247 points of value, and they only gave up 208 points of value. So,
but what is the value of a 11 and a 29 in a draft? Do we know?
23.
23, 11 and a 23.
Phil did look this up.
Yeah, well, do you want the actual draft value points? Do you want the breakdown?
I want to know where that's supposed to take you. Where's that? How high is that supposed to get you?
So it could take you, because we did the math on this too. If your goal is to get up to the number 3, the 11 plus the 23 is worth 600 points. The 3 is worth 514 points. So you'd actually be giving up more in points with those two. Now that doesn't count if there's 3 other teams driving the value up, trying to make a trade. Right. So you're probably going to get taxed on it.
Who behind the Vikings wants a quarterback?
Denver, for sure.
Yeah, that's right. Have they already
Seattle.
given up? Denver's. Do they have any picks left though? Didn't they give Seattle a bunch of them? So
it's a good question.
Russell,
they've got 12. They've got 12, but the Vikings now have. I think that's where the 2 first-round picks comes in key, right? Because Denver's got 12, the Vikings have 11, but now the Vikings can chip in 23 as well.
Did we manage to have a worse record last year than Denver? My God, they were awful. How do we end up ahead of them in the draft?
Denver was
they beat the Vikings.
Denver was in the they beat the Vikings, and they were in the mix with a week or 2 left still to make the playoffs. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, but what Tennessee thinks they got their quarterback though, Levis. Huh? They think he's the answer.
we think they think that.
Wasn't he the guy that we supposedly liked last year?
No, it turned out
The
O'Connell
Vikings
didn't like him. But
didn't
the
like
thing
him.
but the thing with the Titans is I'm not sure I buy this because it was it was Vrabel and those guys that drafted Levis, and now that they've got Bill Callahan's kid, who is the OC
Yeah.
at Cincinnati, he's their coach. So I'm not sure I buy the Levis thing completely yet. I think that they scare me. They could be lurking. Don't
You
trust anyone.
know, I could never hire Bill Callahan's kid. He might be the genius of all time. He might be, but the fact that he's been in the same room with that moron, Bill Callahan, would not would I couldn't take him. Sorry.
It
He's
taints it.
he ruined the Raiders. He ruined Nebraska football for decades. They've been terrible ever since they hired that moron. I couldn't hire Callahan's kid. Sorry, guilt by association there.
Guilt
That's
by Offspring Association.
Yes, killed by Offspring Association. You can't. He's one of the. He's the guy that ruined Nebraska. That they fired Solich to get him. Right? Am I
Yeah.
right? Wasn't
I
it
can't keep
Callahan?
track of who's coached
He
that
was.
team.
He took the greatest franchise in college football. You'd have a spring game and there'd be 70,000 people there. And now they can't beat the Gophers, for God's sakes. They're terrible.
Speaking
And
of
it's
spring
all
games, we've
because it's
canceled
Bill.
ours again, Pat.
What?
We
Yeah, we
canceled our spring
canceled
game
it.
again.
What's the deal?
What happened?
He doesn't want to have it and have no people there, or what?
I don't know. He
I
just
don't
canceled
know.
it.
Yeah, I saw he canceled it, but it's you if you donate to the NIL fund, then you can go watch a practice. So that's pretty nice of him.
What's
I
the
don't
minimum donation to go have practice access?
I don't know. I don't know. I saw that, but he canceled it. He must really be embarrassed about that raise he got. He didn't want people to come over there and taunt him about having a raise after going 3-6 in the mighty Big Ten West.
Somebody, hey,
Big Ten.
I'm out here. I'm in New York this week for a sports media summit, the Barrett Sports Media Summit. And I was talking to a couple guys from the Fan in Columbus, so Ohio State, like as much as we talk Vikings here, in the Twin
Oh,
Cities,
God, yes.
Ohio State is their pro team in Columbus. And one of the guys from the Fan told me that they have an NIL fund that has like $12 million in it. Like they're literally just like millions of dollars to these football players. We can't even get $5 to give to.
We want you to buy a beer. We want you to buy a certain variety of beer. That'll help. Right? We get a quarter for every time we sell one of those beers or something. Yeah, it's and it's all going to football too. So I don't know how our guy Ben's going to keep his players. Do you?
That's what I've asked.
Boy.
What?
Yeah, Tom Izzo said, was it yesterday after the game? He said that Ben Johnson's done a great job. They could be the number one team in the conference next year.
Oh,
Well, better cobble together a couple dollars.
well, here's the deal. Izzo has become one of those guys who's been around long enough. College basketball, this always happens, that they feel like they can now be at a point where they can perform benediction and and praise a guy and come in and say what a great job he's doing. Knight was the same way. Krzyzewski was the same way. He'd beat you and then tell you how wonderful you were, and after he got every call during the game. And it's some reason that college basketball that brings it out that they do this. I remember Lute, who was younger than Dutcher, performing benediction over Dutcher once when he was getting some heat up here. And Lute, just smug as hell. And Izzo, I liked Izzo a lot 10 years ago, but he's become Grandpa Tom, and he's now, Ben Johnson. He's doing a fantastic job. No, he's not. He's doing okay. He's improved, but they stunk it out down the stretch, right? They stunk it out down the stretch, and now we don't know who's staying. Because we got to worry about the Christie kid going to the NBA. That was a good rumor a week ago or something.
Yeah, let's
God,
come on
yeah,
back. Come on back, Hank.
he could maybe make the G League if he really worked hard. So yeah, I don't know. they actually hung in there for 35 minutes yesterday, and then woof, boy, when they went bad yesterday and got blown out. And
You know,
then
maybe Pat, your friends at the Valley Auto Group, maybe we can work a deal where some of that money goes to you buy a car and you can keep a Gopher basketball player in town for another year, huh?
yeah, I don't know.
Or maybe you could buy a car for a Gopher basketball
I was
player.
going to say you maybe have to buy the car for the basketball
Yeah.
player, but that might be legal now too. I don't know. Is it?
I think it
Can
is.
you
Yeah, I
buy
think
a
you're
car?
good.
Yeah, you can. Anyway, if I was a Gopher basketball player, I'd want a car from Brett and Jim Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers. Maybe one of those four varieties of SUVs they have out there. If you're a youth now, you're a basketball guy at the U. You got stuff to put in the back. You got goodies to put in the back because everybody's going to be buying Grey Duck beer or something for you. Anyway, Jim Paul Valley Group of GM dealers, Apple Valley, Hastings, low interest rates right now, 0.9, 1.9 if you qualify. A great variety of cars and very good used cars out there. A big fleet of used cars. And I bought a couple of family members of mine have bought used cars out there and did very well. And of course, I bought for my last 5 or 6 cars there. The Jim Paul Valley Group, Brett Paul Valley Group, GM dealers, Hastings, Apple Valley, these Buicks, a lot of models of SUVs. And I told you, my guys, Suchi boys, looking at that little station wagon they have now. So if Suchi's looking, that means you got a pretty good car.
Yes.
So anyway, check them out, Hastings and Apple Valley.
All right, Pat, enjoy your weekend. We'll see if the Vikings make another crazy trade here in the next few days before Monday.
All right, I'm going to go watch Breck and North tonight at Augsburg play for the right to go to the state tournament, and two different environments there, but it should be a hell of a game because Ricky Davis's North team had 104 the other night against Holy Family, so they're going to go up and down the court, I think. So anyway,
Love it, Ricky Davis, man, so great.
All
All right,
right.
Pat, we'll
See ya.
talk
Thanks,
next
Pat.
week.
all right.
There he is, Reusse Unchained here on Score North.